Hello and welcome to this week's video. My name is Anuska Taylor. It's so great to be here. Does your voice feel constricted or strained when you speak? Or maybe you don't notice it until the end of the day. Maybe when you've been in a series of meetings all day, you feel a lot of constriction and tension at the end of the day. If so, this video is for you. Now, you may also experience not only tension or tightness in your throat, but you may also notice that there's a lot of raspiness or croakiness in your voice. Maybe you find that you clear your throat a lot, or maybe you have just frequent sore throats where there's no illness or allergy to really point to. And often these are signs that there is this overconstriction and too much strain and tension in the vocal mechanism. And so today what I want to share is a series of short exercises you can do just to help you to begin to sort of release the voice a little bit more. A big part of my work is about helping clients to see really how they're hindering their voice, and freeing the voice is the first step in accessing greater dynamics, greater expression, the ability to project, the ability to speak for hours without fatigue. It all starts with a free and open voice. And often we don't realize how much constriction we have on our instrument. We don't even realize a lot of the muscles that are engaging that don't need to be engaging. And then there are muscles that aren't engaging that do need to be engaged. So today we're going to be looking really at releasing some of those muscles that probably are engaged but don't need to be. So first of all, it's really important to understand that we have two sets of vocal folds. We have what we call the true vocal folds and the false vocal folds. You might have also heard of this as vocal cords, but the truer and the more accurate description is actually vocal folds, which is what I'm going to be referring to them as in this video. So the true vocal folds are what we use for voicing, for speech, and for singing. They are what vibrate to produce the sound waves. Now, above the true vocal folds are the false vocal folds, and their primary job is to help protect the airway, to keep things out of the lungs that we don't want. So they are very active in swallowing, but they're also really important to help to create that subglottal pressure, that strength and power in the body, that internal power in the body for things like weightlifting, lifting heavy objects. Women, when they give birth, they're creating a lot of internal pressure. When we go to the toilet as well. So that's where the false vocal folds combined with the true vocal folds really come into their own. And so they're very, very important for some of these daily activities that we do, but we don't want them engaged for speaking. And often when people are experiencing a lot of unnecessary constriction and tension in their voice, it's because the false vocal folds are overly engaged, and we just want to sort of switch them off a little bit because they don't really need to be involved. Often when we are anxious or stressed, they can get overly activated as well. And so obviously if you are in a very stressful job and you're doing a lot of speaking, they may just want to join the party, but we really want to learn to release them and let the true vocal folds do their job. And if they are engaged, or if they're overly engaged, the voice is likely to be low, gruff, and require quite a lot of effort. Now, obviously, if you're at the extreme end of this, or you are in any way concerned at all, please go and see your ear, nose, and throat doctor. Really, it's the only way to know what's going on inside your larynx. I can only help you to some extent on these videos, but at least hopefully help to bring some awareness to you and your voice. So first of all, let's feel what the false vocal folds feel like, because you may not even have any awareness whatsoever of this. So in terms of feeling them, I'd like you to say, but I'd like you to say it as noisily as possible. So, and you'll feel hopefully that the throat, I say hopefully, only for this first exercise, you'll feel hopefully that there will be a constriction in your throat. And Obviously, it doesn't sound particularly nice either, but just notice the feeling, because that's what we're then going to try and avoid. But I want you to be aware of it first of all, so you know what you're not aiming for. So just do that a few times, that huh, huh, and just notice the feeling in your throat. Now, the next series of exercises were actually developed by a speech language pathologist called Dr. Daniel Boone, who's no longer alive, but he developed this technique called the YAWN SIGH technique. And the whole purpose of this was really to help people reduce tension in their speaking voice and help to release these false vocal folds. So I'm going to take you through the process. It's a 4-stage process, and obviously you spend as long as you like on this. The first stage is very, very simple. What you're going to do is you're just going to yawn 10 times. Now, I'm not going to yawn 10 times, I'll yawn a couple of times, but essentially I just want you to really release and let go as you just do that 10 times. And just notice the throat expanding as you do this. And if you like, you can just move your hands, move your arms, just really allow yourself to yawn fully 10 times. That's the first stage. The second stage is to add a sigh to the yawn. Now, we're doing a very soft, gentle sigh. So it would be like so we're not overly constricting. We're not, it's not like that, because you'll feel the neck engaged, which is why we did the exercise in the first place of feeling the false vocal folds. You want to keep a softness and this feeling of release as you do this. So allow a very gentle, soft sigh to come through. So that's number 2. So you're going to do 10 yawns, 10 yawn sighs. So that's number 2. So number 3 is we're going to add an H sound. So we're now morphing into some words here, but we're starting the words with an H, because that allows that free flow of breath. So I'm going to put the words up on the screen, whichever direction it is, so you can have a go and you can go through these yourself. But you're going to do exactly the same as what you've done, but then you're going to morph into the H word. The first word is hi, as in hi. So we're going to do hi. So again, we're not hi. We're not grabbing and grasping the throat. It's a soft onset. We call this an onset, a soft onset into the word hi. Hi. And then you're going to go through all the words. I'm not going to go through every single word. I'll do a couple more with you. I'll put them up on the screen. So the next one is hot. So hot. Hot. So we're not grabbing into anything. We're really allowing the voice and the breath to flow freely into the word hot. And I'll do one more with you, and then you can go through the rest on your own in your own time. So the third one is help. So again, help. Help. So there's a nice softness into every word that you speak. Hopefully you're starting to see a theme here. So we're trying to remove any grasping and tension and constriction and squeeze into any of these sounds or these words. So number 4, we're going to do the yawn and sigh again, but this time we're going to go straight into some vowels. But we want to keep the feeling of that soft onset that you got by putting the H at the front of those words. So we're still not grasping and grabbing. We are softly and gently entering into those words. So the first word is eat, but we're going to approach it as if it's got a sort of silent H on the front. So it's going to be a eat. Eat. So there's a softness into that, versus eat. So we're not grabbing into it. So that's the first one. The next one you can try is aim. Again, let's try this again. Very soft onset into this. Aim. Aim. So there's a nice softness into that A. And I'll do one more, and then you can try these on your own in your own time. The final one I'm going to do is I, like your eye. So I. So again, we're not grabbing into it. Now, hopefully you will start to get a sense of when your throat is grabbing and grasping, particularly if you practice that initial exercise on the you'll feel it. So you'll know, hopefully you'll start to get a sense of, am I grabbing into these words, or am I softly, gently sort of entering into these words? And initially, when we have a lot of constriction and tension in the voice, we want to just have a softer approach into the words, just to sort of re-pattern the voice a little bit, just disengage those false vocal folds and get the true vocal folds activated again. So I'd love to know how you go with this. Please just go through all the words, and then you can just start to replace it with your own words. But again, it's keeping that nice ease and that nice, gentle, free movement going into whatever you're saying. And then, of course, eventually you can take away the yawn and the sigh and just find that gentle onset yourself in the words and the sentences that you're speaking. So thank you so much for watching. If you would like some private, personalized help with your voice, I do offer private intro sessions online, so you can be anywhere in the world. They're £200. You can schedule it below, and I can go through this with you for your voice and help you personally understand this and navigate this in your own voice. I also offer full, longer private voice coaching packages. But if you'd just like to have a taster of this, then schedule a 1-hour voice intro session, and I can help you and I can show you how this would actually work in your voice. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on next week's video.